Hi, my name is Sindhu Vasudevan and I am the co-founder of Sur Darbar. It gives me great pleasure to introduce to you all Sur Darbar and our new series, Guru Prabha. Sur Darbar is a warm and welcoming Indian classical music platform for students, artists, and audiences from Austin and the extended Texas Tri-City area, including Houston, Dallas, and San Antonio. We are also a registered 501c nonprofit organization and have built a supportive and encouraging music community to interact and network with like-minded individuals, enhance, learn, and promote each other's art. We began this physical darbar in the southwest region of Austin and soon had to move all of our events virtually as the pandemic hit us. We hope to get back to in-person events very soon and interact with you all physically. But until then, please do look out for more information on our social media for in-person events that will be happening hopefully very soon. You may check out all of our previous work on our YouTube channel at Sur Darbar, and please do not forget to like and subscribe to our Facebook page and our YouTube channel at Sur Darbar. Please do help us in sharing the glory of Indian classical music by sharing our work on your social media platforms and with your friends and family all around the world. As we have all experienced, Austin has been growing exponentially over the past year, and the Indian community is no different. Our mission at Sur Darbar is to introduce the rich music culture of Austin to the folks that are new and moving in, and to help bring the community together by spreading the glory and joy of Indian classical music and culture. We are thrilled to bring to you a new series, Guru Prabha, which will be presented to you every so often interspersed with our other events. Guru Prabha will shine light on the music schools and music gurus in the Texas region. Our first episode of Guru Prabha will spotlight Iswara School of Arts and Guru Srimati Malavi Mahesh of Austin. Whether it be vocal music or instrumental, several of these gurus have dedicated their time in passing on the rich Indian classical music heritage. Sur Darbar is honored to be showcasing their works through the Guru Prabha series. If you wish to be featured on our Guru Prabha series, please do reach out to us through email at surdarbar@gmail.com or through our social media handles on Facebook or Instagram. And now I invite Sur Darbar's co-founder, Swati Vasudevan, our host for today, to introduce our first episode of the Guru Prabha series.
Thank you, Sindhu, for kicking us off today. A very good morning to all of our viewers in North America and warm greetings to those of you that are watching us from different parts of the world. This is Swati Vasudevan, co-founder of Sur Darbar, and I'm delighted to host our first episode of Guru Prabha series. As Sindhu mentioned, Austin has seen tremendous growth during the pandemic period, and we have seen high numbers of people moving into several communities within Austin and the surrounding suburbs. We have seen similar growth in other cities in Texas as well. Guru Prabha was conceived to shine a light on the tremendous musical talent that exists in Austin, as well as introduce to those moving into Austin and other Texas cities, and those that have been in Austin, the rich wealth of resources available to all of us. Sur Darbar has not only been promoting musical talent, but has been creating a strong community of musicians, teachers, students, and performing artists. This series, Guru Prabha, aims to further expand and strengthen the musical community. We plan to bring to you episodes of Guru Prabha periodically along with our other events. If you know of friends that have been teaching music, have recently moved into Austin, or if you are one of those gurus that are listening to us today and would like to be featured in the Guru Prabha series, please do contact us via email at surdarbar.austin@gmail.com or through our social media channels, or simply give us a call. Our first episode of Guru Prabha will feature Guru Srimati Malavi Mahesh and co-founder of Iswara School of Arts, Sri Mahesh Mudigonda. I would like to give you a brief introduction of these two very special people you will be meeting today. Malavi Mudigonda comes from a musical family and has learned Carnatic music from her mother, Guru Nadasudha late Srimati Shakuntala Chunduru. She holds a 6-year diploma in Carnatic music. She is continuing her classical vocal training under violin Vidwan Sri Ganesh Rajagopal. Malavi has been teaching Carnatic music for over 30 years and has co-founded Iswara School of Arts along with her husband, Mahesh Mudigonda. She has performed live on countless occasions in the United States and India, presenting devotional, classical, and film music. Malvi Mahesh is a passionate teacher with a huge student community in the Portland area and has now started building her music school in the Austin's Leander area. Mahesh Mudigonda hails from a musical and artistic family and has had formal training in Mridangam. He is largely self-taught on keyboards and vocals. He is currently learning violin under Vidwan Sri Ganesh Rajagopalan. Using his knowledge of various instruments and technology, Mahesh creates his own music, classical, contemporary, under the name of Iswara for TV, documentaries, and short films. Pursuing his other passions, electronics, he has created his own novel products for instruction and performance of Indian classical music under the brand name of Iswara.com. He has also founded the Iswara.org, which is a non-profit to promote understanding and appreciation of all flavors of Indian music. While not playing with music or electronics, Mahesh also likes to learn languages and indulge in punning and wordplay. Malavi is busy writing code and Mahesh works for NVIDIA when not busy with their passion and hobbies relating to music.
So please join me in welcoming Malvi Mahesh and Mahesh Mudigonda from the Iswara School of Arts to our first episode of Guru Prabha, a spotlight on gurus of music. Here we have with us today Malvi Mahesh and Mahesh Mudigonda of Austin. Hello, Malvi and Mahesh.
Namaste. Glad to be here.
Welcome to the Guru Prabha episode. We are so happy to have you with us today.
Thank you for inviting us to introduce ourselves to our Austin community. We are very glad to be part of it.
Yeah. Thanks for inviting us. We're glad to be part of the Sur Darbar's Guru Prabha series. We watched the video collection that's building over time. We're happy and very. It's very nicely done set of videos there.
Thank you. Thank you.
Specifically, I've watched the Bharatiyar's series, and it's wonderful melodies, wonderful reminiscences, wonderful collection.
Yeah, I love that recent Lataji's tribute program and BMK program. So I'm watching for a long time. So all the episodes.
Thank you.
So thank you for organizing such good events very beautifully.
Well, we are in this journey together, Malvi, and I'm happy that our paths crossed. And Mahesh, that you have been into the world of promoting arts, and you are come to Austin now. So we are very happy to introduce you to the Austin community and kind of the larger Texas community through this Guru Prabha episode. So I'll begin with having you, maybe Malvi, you can start and tell me how your journey has been and how did you get into music and into the, teaching aspect of music. Can you share a little bit about your journey, please?
Sure. Basically, I grew up in a music teaching environment because my mother is a music teacher. She was last year only she passed away, so in my mind she's still alive. So she and my father founded a music school, Gayatri Sangeeta Kalasala, almost 50 years back. My mother was teaching, and we lots of students, and she was actively participating. She was a secretary for our local Bhavapuri Sangeet Sabha, where they bring artists local, all around India. So I grew up with listening to concerts and teaching and helping my mother at home. So and she used to celebrate Tyagaraja Aradhana every year. So it's kind of passion for me. That's how I got into music, teaching and singing, performing. All these aspects were main, even though we were focusing on mathematics and computers later. So
We have a Tyagaraja Aradhana that will happen here in Austin, and we'd love to have you a part of that as well.
yes, I will.
Yeah. So
Love it.
tell me a little bit more about the School of Music you said your mother had started, and how did you yourself get into the teaching?
So, yeah, my mother used to have lots of students. She couldn't teach everybody. And I used to tell notes for everything, if somebody, even when I was kid. So for every tune, I used to tell the notes for that from behind the song and all. So, and so I can help them, like if they're going off Shruti, I used to help her. So she used to use me like, me and my sister, all students, they used to call us mini like kuti teachers. So even students, even now they call us our kuti, small teachers. So
Teachers, okay.
like that from childhood, because the Swarajnana and so my objective is, that's why I want to improve Swarajnana, Shruti in my students also. So I mainly focus on teaching those aspects also.
Very beautiful, very beautiful. So how long have you been teaching? And you were teaching in Portland before, right? How long have you been teaching there?
I am teaching almost for 24 years.
24 years. Wow.
Right after marriage, I started, and even before I was teaching, like
Wonderful,
from
wonderful.
childhood. So
We are truly blessed to have such a experienced guru in our community, and so happy to throw a spotlight on you through this Guru Prabha series. I don't want Mahesh to feel left out. So Mahesh, I know you have been the success behind Malvi's teaching career, as well as promoting music in other ways. I'd love for you to introduce yourself and share some things about the school that you have started.
Yeah, definitely, Swati. So the couple of things that I wanted to add to what Malavi has already said. So Malavi's mother, my mother-in-law, used to teach vocal and veena, and that's where the Swarajnana aspect is even more important than in vocal. Not that it is less important in vocal, but more, I'd say, it's essential in veena. Without the swaram, you cannot play anything, right? You cannot execute anything. So whereas vocal, you can do it by feel without actual Swarajnana. So that's the context in which Malavi grew up. Let's see, my journey with Iswara, I'd say started with when we got married. So we got married about 25 years ago. It was a marriage based on music. So we almost like sought out music based, right? That was the basis for the marriage. So understandably, she got into teaching. She continued her music and teaching right after we got married. We were in the US, and she taught in Tacoma, Washington, teaching, and then also doing other performances. And then in Portland, and now in Austin. So it's been a long, unbroken journey, I'd say.
So officially, we made Iswara School of Arts because Mahesh is the inspiration and he's the founder for that. So later we made it an official school name, and we have given that. And after from I think around 2013, Ganesh Rajagopalanji, violin Vidwan, became our director for our music
Director
school.
of music too, yeah.
I see.
So yeah, we continuously for a long time we are continuing this art form and trying to propagate as much as we can.
Yes, it's wonderful. It's wonderful what you've been doing, and it is because of gurus like you that our music of so many centuries is still staying alive. So, on behalf of everybody at Sur Darbar, we are very grateful to gurus like yourself that have been promoting the music.
Thank you.
Um, Moving on, tell me what brings you to Austin. You've spent the last 20 something years in Portland and Washington State. What brings you to Austin?
Um, Maybe I'll take that question. So the reason for moving, I'd say, is the weather. The thing that was holding us back was music, and this thing called COVID, when it hit, it forced Malawi's music presence in terms of the school online, and that made us portable, basically. So I'd say that's roughly what happened. But and of course, kids and their priorities too, right? So things aligned. So it made the move possible. And I'd say the main fundamental thing there was COVID.
Yep.
Yeah.
I secretly think that Austin, being the music capital of the United States, is probably what drew you here.
Yes, and in that spirit, we should change that. Not change. We should enhance and embellish that to also make it the Carnatic music capital.
Carnatic music.
Yeah,
maybe,
yeah.
Yes, the classical music capital of classical Indian music capital of US.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So there has definitely been a lot of people that have brought this music and enriched Austin, as you rightly said. And you are another feather in that cap. So we are very happy to have you here.
Happy to, yeah.
So Mahesh, you said that you both have founded the school of Iswara School of Arts and have been promoting music for several years now. Why don't you tell me a little bit about how your music journey started and the school, and that would be wonderful for us to hear too.
Sure, definitely. So I'd say my mother's side is particularly musical, and they're like actively into writing songs, tuning songs, their own compositions, basically. Quite a few of them do it. I don't know. I can recall 10 out of my cousins and mom and her sisters and things like that, all of who do that without formal training in music, basically. That's the background that I come from. And then my mother was very particular that we learn something formally and then get to performance level. Till very recently, the only thing I have formal training in was Mridangam, which I learned as a kid in Vijayawada. Now I'm pursuing actually violin from Ganeshji, our director of music that we mentioned earlier. So that's where it started. But so I had this ability to tell notes because I was playing with the violin by myself for a long time. Even though I was not able to play much of it. I could notate it in the head, right? And so I studied at IIT Madras, and that gave me an opportunity to attend, I'd say, probably 1 or 2 concerts a week, all through those 4 years. So I have what would normally be called Kelvi Jnanam, the fair amount of it. Also, because I could notate in the head, I could, in some ways, get more out of the listening that I've gone through. My interests do spread all the way from Carnatic to, like they say, Ilayaraja to Tyagaraja, or Tyagaraja to Ilayaraja, right? That's roughly the span that which I deal with. And then I got into keyboards. So before I came out of IISc, where I did my master's, we were doing band performances and all that. So where I did a little violin, little keyboard, little mridangam as needed. And I used to compose a little too by myself. So with all that, we got married, we came to US. So the school, like I said, was a consistent thread all along. But on the side, there were also other things that were running. So we both used to perform classical, non-classical to American audiences. And we're also doing Tollywood music, Bollywood music shows and things like that. In fact, the name Iswara started somewhere in that space, in that time. So right around 98 to 2000, soon after we came to the US, the first performance that was called Iswara started. So the band called Iswara basically was born. And sometime later, we registered the school as Iswara School of Arts, formally registered, I'd say. And then much more recently, in 2017, we registered Iswara.org, which is a 501c3 registered nonprofit. So Iswara in multiple forms, basically. They've always been going. So I do a lot of audio, I do mixing, I do my own compositions, in which Malavi's voice is very routinely featured, of course. There were a couple of our productions that played on Indian TV, one or two documentaries, short films, promos, things like that, right? So basically these are all allied things that we do, one related to the other.
It's such a world of music that you have created around yourself. It's phenomenal. So I think Austin is thrilled to have you join the rest of the community in continuing to promote music, and thank you for everything you've done so far.
Thank you. And we actually like I think this place offers more possibilities than a smaller town would. So we are happy to be in the community and got to know all of you and more through this program.
Yes, definitely. And that's the goal, right? We are a very vibrant community and want to be able to share this music across the board. What would you say is the vision for your School of Music, School of Arts, Mahesh?
So School of Arts, we had the event that happened in 2013-14 time was Ganeshji joining our school and then as the director of music. So he runs the Seattle branch, basically. Seattle, Redmond, Sammamish, that area.
And we still have lots of students in Portland, like they're still learning from me on Skype.
I see.
So we kind of 3 branches now, Portland, Seattle, and this one. And basically, we just, whatever we know, we just want to pass it to next generations, whoever are interested like us, and enjoy this divine art for however many years we can. We
can, absolutely.
And the biggest contribution, I think, as a teacher from Mahesh is this Shruti box. This it's not only Shruti box; it has a thalam feature to source the thalam. Especially for learners, they usually start very fast, and then in second speed, when I ask them to sing, they go slow, and third speed they go more slower. So this thala machine helps them go into like slow and then raise to next second speed and third speed. So they understand it. Without this, when I used to tell them, they couldn't understand. They always start very fast and automatically the third speed they go very slow because they can't catch up. It's very useful, and for especially Mridangam kids who are learning in Portland, Ravi Balasubramaniam, the professional artist, Ghatam artist, recommends this to all his students. It's very useful, and I personally see lots of improvement in my students' thala skills because of and even Khanda Chapu, Mr. Chapu. Usually, when we were kids, when we used to learn, those thalas used to be very difficult for us. But with all this younger generation is capturing very fast. They are understanding the details very fast.
So one thing that Malavi does.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about how this thing happened, this invention happened?
That's a story by itself. So as a student of IIT, I actually created I have to say I was not focusing much on coursework. I was doing my hobby electronics. So my profession is electronics, right? So I work for NVIDIA as a ASIC design engineer, right? On the side, this was not created now. It was created, back as a student. So I created a talam machine without the tambura, right? I still have the prototype somewhere. So that was created, I'd say, back in '89. The first prototype of this talam it basically shows the talam as lights in each of the fingers, basically.
I see. Oh, beautiful.
So the tambura I created probably 92, 93 as a prototype. Those two parts are married into the same box. So in this product, one of the variations of this is actually called Swara Laya, like it's a marriage between Sur and Tal. So this product actually kind of came as a dream from that time. The entrepreneurship, it started, I'd say about 12 years ago. And this product, so we have some a small but growing subscribers and supporters and followers, teachers that are completely taken to the idea that this really helps their students. Malvi is, of course, one of them. And the way Malvi does in the Iswara school context is the basic exercises itself in the whole class of, let's say, 1 hour, probably 10, 15, 20 minutes of the class, they actually sing with the metronome.
Correct. Okay.
So, and that basically gets the thing that the faster sections of the song, they should not suddenly start running. And the usual weaknesses, just like the Shruti Suddham, there is also the Laya stability, right? So that aspect is very deeply grounded very early in Malvi students that way.
It's amazing that you've conceived this idea and brought it to. How does one obtain the Swaralaya instrument if they choose to? Is there a place that they can order it from?
Yeah, definitely. So we basically, everything that we do is in 2 websites. There is the iswara.com, which has a page for the school. It also has a page for the products, like such a there is also iswara.org, which is a nonprofit page, which talks about concerts and promotion and bringing new artists and especially younger crowd, younger talent, putting them as confident performers on stage.
Sure. Wonderful. Thank you. To all of our viewers, if you are interested in learning more about the Swaralaya creation from Mahesh, please check out iswara.com, where you can get a lot more information and perhaps be able to order the invention as well. We'll move on now to turn our focus back to the Guru with a couple more deep dives into her style of teaching and her philosophy. So Malvi, could you tell us a little bit about your philosophy of teaching? What do you look for in the students? Are there any age groups that you particularly go focus on? And just how do you approach music teaching?
I usually take students from 5-year-old, not very earlier than, because they can't sit for 1 hour classes. So I tell them, if they're very much interested, I tell parents to make them listen to classical music and make them sing as much as they can at home. But from 5-year-old, unless their family is into music and the kid is very passionate, in general, that is the average age, and I prefer for kids here.
About 5 years, okay.
Yeah, 5.5 would be good. So, and then I normally don't, if the student is capable, and for some students I interview them, like kind of, I ask them to come for 10-15 minutes. Some kids have listening skills, some kids will not have listening skills. So I tell them, see, they might as well spend time on something so that they don't feel after some years of hard work, they shouldn't say, oh, I didn't get anything. So they might be very good in other art forms. So that's why I just ask them to come, and 10-15 minutes I make them to sing. So in 10-15 minutes, we can't tell. Some kids might get after a few classes also. So it depends on that. I will try, because of my experience from childhood teaching, I try to judge them, and sometimes, I tell them, use keyboard when you practice, if they have less listening skills. If they have more listening skills, and if they are good, I'll put a group and I start music lessons. And my main aspect in that teaching is not just teaching sarigama and all that. I emphasize more on notes, like guessing notes. We have a guessing note game all students like. So class, I give 10-15 minutes time for that, and make them listen to Shruti box. Otherwise, some parents came to me and told me, when we were learning, we never know the value of Shruti box. It used to be there on side, and my teacher never told us the importance of it, like as you do. So that's why, because of my experience from childhood, I know how important that is. So I tell them it's like heart for your body. Without how we can't live without Shruti, you can't sing. So all those aspects like Laya also, like Shruti, Madha, Laya, Pitaha, all those examples I give them, and I try to put in tell them
Inculcate that aspect.
yes, tell them Shruti and the importance. So that's where that gives them being more like into Swarajnana and Talagnana. So to learn like that with those two aspects in like main tools, it will be a good teacher in future, and you don't have to depend on me or any other.
Correct.
So you can learn on your own.
It's a
So
good
that,
foundation. Yes, absolutely.
yes. So
Absolutely.
after 3-4 years, they start telling the notes for every song. So that is all my fourth line students, all my senior students, they started telling the notation after 4-5 years of. Some kids get it in 1 year, 2 years, but most of them, even average, who can't sing, also made them. That is my goal. See, if somebody already has the music, it's not. It's they already get it.
It's easier. Yeah.
Who are very passionate, but they work harder to get these
Correct.
things. So I
Correct.
work on those for them so that they can capture and they can be with the other kids also. So equally into music world.
Beautiful. Mahesh, did you have a comment?
So I think one thing I'd say that she left out, but she stresses quite a bit in her teaching is diction.
Yes.
And the one thing that she insists is that every learner should speak Indian language at home.
Their mother tongue.
Whatever the mother tongue is.
I cannot agree with you more, and I'm so glad to hear that Malavi emphasizes on that, because with our Indian music, I think the lyrical part plays a very important role, and to be able to speak that and to pronounce that with the right diction is so important, because you can change the meaning of the song one. Right? I'm so glad to hear that.
The pleasure of listening. The lyric is extremely important part of that, and we cannot take that away.
Correct.
And thanks to my study and related travel, I spent enough time in Karnataka, enough time in Chennai also. So while I cannot speak Tamil and Kannada, I understand it.
He helps me understand.
We look up the lyrics, take the time.
Correct.
He will help me. Okay, this is how we are to pronounce. So.
No, it's very important, and I'm so glad to hear gurus like yourself are emphasizing on the lyrical aspect, the diction aspect of music, because I think that I have seen some students not get that, right?
Yeah, the thing is, especially kids who brought up here,
right,
it's very hard for them. So I tell them this is an advantage for you. It might be harder for you initially to speak your mother tongue, but if you get that, your diction will be good, and you can sing Carnatic classical and also Western, because I can't sing Western as you do, because you have that advantage of singing several different music
genres. Correct.
Because of that. So that's how I motivate them to speak their mother tongue, so they can pronounce and they can easily sing our Indian classical.
And I should add the way that she focuses on insists on kids picking up the Shruti and Tala aspects and the diction, for example, is for that matter, is that she makes music very portable to other systems, like when they sing film songs or when they sing Western, right? Because Malavi herself is a very seasoned professional singing in paid ticketed fundraising shows. So she carries the experience of singing on a Bollywood stage.
Correct.
Right? And she's filtering that down to Carnatic to teach the kids. So there's a lot that that she's passing on, which is non-Carnatic or pan-Carnatic.
Correct.
I encourage them to learn Hindustani also. If a student is one certain level, not initial stages, but if they are in a certain level, I tell them go and learn Hindustani. So that they can focus on the melody of the ragas and all. So I never say, okay, if you are singing classical, you shouldn't sing this.
Right. It's all music. Yeah, you should be able to cross those borders.
Depends on their voice. Some kids will have higher Shruti range, so I encourage them to do karaoke and all. So if they are very much into bass and Carnatic, so I encourage them to. My students got first prize in Sudha Raghunathan's Sudharnava competitions.
I
last
see.
2 years.
Yeah.
One of my student got like several local
Several
competitions
actually,
also.
man.
They got
In Portland, anytime there's a Carnatic music competition, I mean,
a few of my students always.
it's a lot more than few, but yeah.
She's very modest, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So thank you for that insight into your teaching philosophy, Malvi, and Maheshji, for your insights there as well. I want to hear from you, Malvi. What, I mean, I know you've been doing music for 25 years or more, actually, through your even childhood and so on. What does Indian classical music mean to you?
My mother used to say, music learning is a passport to heaven. That she used to always tell when I was kid, and to her students and to us. And so it's not like she used to encourage everybody. So
Uh-huh.
if somebody comes to her, if they can't sing, she will, because she is a veena player also. She used to make them play on veena. So it's like a divine that feeling we get, that divine feeling we get when we learn a new raga, or when we hear a new kruti or new song. That I enjoy. Like, these arts are like we enjoy and we let others enjoy. So that is the main motivation for me. So this way I can enjoy myself and I can make others enjoy. And teaching, so everybody, we all group singing Indra Mahanbhav, like Pancharatnas or any Navagraha Krutis or anything. That divine feeling we get is, I don't get it as a Java developer. I work for state government, but that I do it for a part of insurance, medical insurance I get, but it's not like I love coding and all, but this, especially in COVID times, or when you are sad or when we are emotional, when I sing to myself, I feel the divine. I don't know whether heaven is there out after life, but I see it when I'm hearing a concert. Like, not only me, all audience, all of us, we feel that swarga in that music. So that is the main goal. It's not like performance. Okay, get ready and go to end of the day. Let's just go and perform. I tell parents also, please don't bring your kids because the other kid, neighbor's kid is performing there. So I want my kid. That kind of learning is not good. If she has passion, she wants to sing, then bring her so we can go into that journey. It's not like don't expect results like 1 year. Some people, oh, my daughter is learning for 5 years, but still, so it depends on the kid. But it's like a Lalita Sahasranama Stotra. Do you expect something, some results from that? No. When we read that, we feel that divine power. So everybody who reads, who wants to read it, they enjoy it. So it's like that. It's like, it with our body, it has to go with our body. It's not like paying money. Okay, my mother is paying, so you are there for me to teach. All that you have to remove.
Yeah, the
You have to
transactional aspect has to
That's
go.
what I
Yeah.
tell my students. When you enter into music class, feel like you are in a temple. We are in front of God. All the songs we are learning are God songs, and the enjoyment, the enlightenment feeling, that you don't have to use any drugs or anything to
Correct.
get those feelings. All those feelings we get it in music. That enjoyment,
But
that bliss you get in some ragas and all, everything.
Correct.
So my main passion, and that's what I tell everybody.
That is very profound, and I'm glad you pointed out that there's something beyond just the singing or the competition or the programs, right? It's I think eternal eternal bliss, eternal it's leading toward that journey of spirituality. So it's beautiful that you explained it that way.
so if I can add one small thing there, I'd also like to say that these days the spiritual part of the learning and journey starts much later in life, right? In a way, this is a very good way to introduce everyone sooner, earlier in their life into something spiritual. They don't realize that it is spiritual yet. They can have fun singing Syamale Minakshi, but there's also a spiritual message that will come back to them when the time comes. In all these lyrics, actually, and so we're connecting with the past in the sense, like 300 years from before, or even older, right? With lyrics that have been written that remain to be relevant, basically.
I think what you said, right, is so true. Even beyond the lyrics, just listening to the Shruti sometimes is very meditative, right? And I think introducing the next generation to that early enough, I think, will give them a lot of lot of benefit in how they handle their everyday stress, how
Yeah.
they cope with their schoolwork. And I think there's so much power in our Indian classical music. So I think that's fantastic that you both are, into that.
Yeah.
But thank you again, Malvi, for talking to us about your philosophy. I think it means a lot that music is not just for competitions and performing on stage. It is a much more deeper and profound journey. So thank you for sharing your insights there. I have been meaning to ask you this right from the beginning of the program. I know Malavi is a name of a raga, as far as I know. Is there any story or history behind that?
Yeah, actually, my name was Lalita only. When I
Lalita,
was born,
okay.
that was my name. That was the name given by my parents. But my older sister, she was learning Malavi Raga when she admitted me. She is the one who took me to admit in a local school. So when somehow she felt like adding Lalita Malavi to my name. So she is the one, even my parents don't know about it. She loved that name Malavi. So she is the one who added that Malavi in my register. So I officially became Lalita Malavi. But because I don't know when I started telling at home, everybody used to call me Lalita only. But in school, I used to tell if somebody asked me for my name, I used to tell Malavi. Somehow I used to like that added name only. So I became Malavi or eventually. And also after marriage, my mother-in-law told us when they came to our home, they said, okay, my kids' names are Mahesh, Manjula, Mangala. So Malavi suits very well.
Starts with an M.
So I became Malavi Mudugonda eventually. So now my old friends, my childhood friends, like who knows me from kindergarten, they say, "Oh, your name was Lalita Malavi, no? Why only Malavi Mudugonda? No."
So
So
no, but it's beautiful. It's such a lovely raga, and it's so nice to call somebody with the name of a raga. Is that also your favorite raga then?
yes, I'm thankful to my sister who named me for that. So, favorite raga means there are lots of ragas. Its own every raga has its own bliss. So I can't say that is the only raga, but
But
I
there's
like.
something special towards Malavi always. So I like to share with our audiences the format of your classes. I know we've all been with this COVID world, right? Our whole normal has changed to this new normal. So do you all plan to have your classes in person, or is it on virtual? Can you talk to us a little bit about how people can contact you about classes? Um,
Yeah. I prefer in-person classes if they can come. We live in Leander area. Especially for small kids, they need company. They need other kids to motivate themselves. So it will be nice if they can come and learn in person. I usually do group lessons for junior kids because, like I said, solo classes will not work for small kids. They need somebody to motivate them. So, and for adults, if they are already learning or they want to switch, I can do Skype lessons if they are very far. So I don't mind Skype lessons if they can take
Yeah, once
lessons.
they're past the basics,
Certainly, yeah.
Yeah,
they'll be okay with Skype classes. Yeah.
yeah. For
Yeah.
junior kids who are starting, especially small kids, I prefer in person.
In person, right? Yeah. So
In
for
fact,
all
the
of the
Portland
viewers,
group is continuing right now on Skype.
uh-huh.
All the Portland students are still there with us, and so we also do like school day performances, annual day, which
Mm-hmm.
loosely aligns with the Composers Day, Tyagaraja, Aradhana, and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So those we intend to, and we actually have been, except for this COVID time, are in person. So that because the in-person aspect and the live aspect is very important for Carnatic music. So
Correct.
I don't think
Correct.
Yeah.
we'll embrace new technology as needed per the COVID times, but we keep that balance basically.
So my relation with students' parents is like my own family. So that's why they still are with me. They don't want. I told them go to local teachers and all, but that bonding is so strong. They still are with me. So and we celebrate it like a family function.
A few clips
Recent
from that too,
programs.
yeah.
Sure,
can-
sure. Yeah, we will definitely share some of that information about the previous programs. And for our audiences, if you wish to contact Malvi or Mahesh, or would like to enroll your kids in classical music, the contact information is available on the eSwara website, but we will also be sharing it at the end of this program. So you can please make note of it. You can contact us if you have questions about eSwara. Through this Guru Prabha program, we not only want to spotlight Mahesh and Malvi for the work that they've been doing all these years. We want to give them a warm welcome to Austin and help them in their journey to continue to pursue, promoting the arts and, giving back to the community. So we are very, very grateful to have had them on this program. This Guru Prabha is shining brighter with gurus like you all.
Thank you so much for inviting us and being part of this Austin music community. We are eagerly waiting to meet everybody in person, but this is a good way to contact everybody.
Sure. I think you folks are doing great service as Sur Darbar, as the Guru Prabha series, and the video productions that I see online. Wonderful job that you're doing too.
Yeah, we've been meaning to have a lot of our programs in person. We started off as an in-person darbar, but COVID hit us and we had to quickly adapt to, doing things virtually. We didn't want to lose the continuity of, keeping in touch with music. So we hope to go back to the in-person events very soon here, and we'll be announcing that as well, going back to our physical Darbar concerts. So we look forward to having you and your students be a part of the Sur Darbar events in the future.
Definitely.
So I think one important thing that I missed as part of this presentation is not listening to you, Malavi. So if we can please have you share with us either your favorite song, your favorite raga, something that our audiences can take away. And any of Sur Darbar's programs would be incomplete without the actual music. So if you don't mind, we would love to listen to you. And with that, I wish to sign off from this event. We will listen to Malavi's lovely music now.
Thank you. Definitely.
Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Yeah. Thank
भज रे हनुमन्तं भज रे हनुमन्तं भज रे हनुमन्तं मानस भज रे हनुमन्तं भज रे हनुमन्तं मानस भज रे हनुमन्तं भज रे हनुमन्तं मानस भज रे हनुमन्तं भज रे గమద పామ గమదని సగమ గమ గమద పామ గమ దని సగమ గమ గమద పామ గమ దని కామగ గదమ మాని పామ గరి సాని ధని సామగ గదమ మాని పామ గరి సాని ధని సగ గమ మద గమ మద దని మద దని ని సాగ మగరి సని దని సని పమ గమ గరి సని సగ గమ మద దని మద దని ని సాగ మగరి సని దని సని పమ గమ గరి సని భజరే హనుమంతం మానస భజరే హనుమంతం భజరే హనుమంతం పరమానంద సుగుణోదయ చరితం కరుణారస పరిపూర్ణ సుభరితం పరమానంద సుగుణోదయ చరితం కరుణారస పరిపూర్ణ సుభరితం రణరంగధీరం గుణగంభీరం రణరంగధీరం గుణగంభీరం రణరంగధీరం గుణగంభీరం రణరంగధీరం గుణగంభీరం రణరంగధీరం గుణగంభీరం రణరంగధీరం గుణగంభీరం దానవ దైత్యారణ్యకు ధారం దానవ దైత్య ఆరణ్యకు ధారం దానవ దైత్య ఆరణ్యకు ధారం దానవ దైత్య ఆరణ్యకు ధారం గురుజన కేశవ కదళీ రంగం స్థిర సద్భక్తం ముఖ్య ప్రాణం గురుజన కేశవ కదళీ రంగం స్థిర సద్భక్తం ముఖ్య ప్రాణం పగమ గమ గమద పామ గమద సగమ గమ గమద పామ గమదని సగమ గమ గమద పామ గమదని సగమ గమ గమద పామ గమదని సామగ గదమ మాని పామ గరి సాని ధని సామగ గదమ మాని పామ గరి సాని ధని సగ గమ మద దని మద దని ని సాగ మగరి సని దని సని పమ గమ గరి సని సగ గమ మద దని మద దని ని సాగ మగరి సని దని సని పమ గమ గరి సని భజరే హనుమంతం మానస భజరే you so much to my Guru, Violin Vidwan Sri Ganesh Rajagopalan sir, and also my mother, Srimati Chundur Sikuntala Devi.
And thanks to Sur Darbar for giving us this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I take this time to say a quick thank you to you all for spending some time with us in your busy schedules for our Guru Prabha series. We surely hope you did enjoy our first episode of the Guru Prabha series, and we hope that you will join us for the rest of the series as well. Please do write to us at surdarbar@gmail.com if you'd like to know more about this series or if you'd like to be featured on this series. Please do check out our YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram handles at Sur Darbar, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel as well. Thank you and namaskaram.
గురులేక ఎటువంటి గుణికి తెలియగబోదు